I think it's
I've
good.
seen a lot of girls, but the biggest booty girls come from Uganda. With a big bumper. That's my favorite Ugandans.
But yeah, Uganda has passed a law.
Parliament.
The parliament has
Passed a
passed a
bill.
law. It's gonna get signed by the president.
If he wants.
Yeah, it's gonna get signed by the president.
You
I
think
mean,
so?
I'll be surprised if the president vetoes it, but we'll see. But yeah, the law criminalizing LGBTQ activities and stuff like that.
Even identified
What do you think?
as
Yeah,
LGBTQ.
thoughts?
It's brave.
I 100% respect it and agree with it, actually. And yeah, like what Fatson is saying, it's absolutely brave. Now, obviously, the whole world now, and by that we mean America, has turned its eyes on Uganda now, and it's gonna be
I
interesting.
don't think it's
to
just
see
America.
what happens.
Like you said, it is the whole world. It's not just America.
Let's be honest, everything evil originates from America. The whole, the rest of the world just gets influenced by it. Think about it.
You'd be surprised, you know. Some
about
of
it.
these small countries have some insane things going on.
That they don't impeach on the rest
countries
of the world.
like, I'm not saying this country, but I'm just saying small countries like Denmark, the Swedens, the Netherlands. When you hear some of the things that are up to, you're like, wait, they're doing what?
Exactly. When you hear about it,
Oh,
meaning
yeah.
that they keep it domestic. In this country, we do this. The Americans, they're not happy with just doing stuff in America. Everyone else has to be doing it. You see?
To be fair, the UK is like that as well.
Yes, it is.
So I don't know why
because
you're being
America is bigger
it's
than UK.
Bring it home.
But yeah, no, honestly, it's a respectable thing, and obviously it's gonna meet a lot of challenge. Right? Even me saying this, people will be saying that also, are you not a supporter? Then technically, I am not. But obviously, I don't incite homophobic behavior and things like that. I think it comes down to a question of faith and belief, because for most of us, that's what this boils down to. This is not about paying. It's not about how much you're getting paid at work for doing whatever. It's not about travel. It's something that touches on a lot of people's faiths, right? So my faith, I was listening to, I think Fatsani, you sent that clip of that woman who is taking the schools to court for forcing their children to partake in the gay parade or whatever, right? So the interviewer seemed to have sympathized with her. Yeah, the interviewer seemed like he was on her side, the journalist. But there was a particular time when he asked a question saying that, okay, because she was trying to say that I respect all that, but obviously it's my right as well to want to bring up my children the way that I want to bring them up. Yeah. So in what she was articulating, she ended up saying that, almost insinuating or saying that homosexual practices and things like that, it's a sin. So he was saying that. So he then asked her to say that, how can you say that you respect others and their beliefs and stuff like that when you are calling it a sin or calling them sinners? But I felt like that's an unfair question, because unless if you're of the same faith like me, that should not bother you. It says you are a sinner if you, let's say, are everybody. If you're not a believer, if you don't believe in what I believe in, you are all sinners. But that shouldn't offend you. That just means that you don't believe in the same God that I believe in, right? I don't understand why people get offended by that.
Because you're casting judgment on them.
Yeah, but you don't believe in the same God I do.
Yeah, but no one likes to be judged, even if it's by a measure stick that they don't agree with.
But yeah, so I think,
And especially if it's a biomeasure stick they don't agree with, because they want you to at least judge them by their own measuring stick. Now you're
if
judging
someone
them
came to me who
I'm just
practices,
answering your question.
who practices, let's say, Buddhism, whatever, or our favorite Muslims, saying that, oh, you're all going to
Infidels.
hell, or whatever. Sorry,
Infidels. It's what they call everyone. Everyone's an infidel.
No idea.
I have no idea as well.
I just thought
But
they call everybody haram.
That will not bother me, because according to your dipstick that you're using, I am that, but that doesn't mean anything to me. So I know that I'm not that. I'll laugh at that. I'll walk away. That's not going to offend me. How can you call me that? I'm not a Muslim, so what the heck is that? You know? So I don't understand why people get offended by that. So, you know, if we are going to belief-wise, it is a sin, you know, to practice homosexuality. So everybody who is transgendering, if you are, you know, of the alphabet community, according to my faith, they are all sinners. You know, they are all sinning against God. You know, and yes, on Judgment Day, they will be burnt up in ashes. You know, but that's my faith. That shouldn't stop you doing what you wanna do. You do what you wanna do. That's my faith. So I am respecting them on that front, but I think they better be ready, because the West is not gonna take that lightly.
I think the difficulty for me, just on the same topic, but just from what Pro Nick has said, is at the moment it feels like, and I don't know if I've made this point before, it does feel like everybody has the right to belief, speech, freedom, yada, 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 as long as it doesn't impinge on LGBTQ. So whatever you believe, you have to fit LGBTQ in that belief. Doesn't matter if you're a Christian, Muslim, you have to fit that aspect into your belief. No questions asked. You just have to. I don't care what your Bible, your God, your Quran says, you have to fit that in. And that's my problem, because we are telling people they should be who they want to be, the way that, you know, the LGBTQ can be who they want to be. Why can't I be who I want to be as a Christian? Why can't a country like Uganda be who they want to identify as a country?
Well, I mean,
I don't know about people getting killed for
the common argument is that it's a human rights infringement. So the reason, I guess you're saying that it seems like it doesn't matter what you believe in, the LGBTQ have to be squaz in there. That's the past tense of squeeze. The LGBT have to be squaz in there.
Squeezed.
Squaz.
Squaz sounds kind of like
It sounds legit,
so
right?
Squazzed her. Never mind.
I don't know why that sounds like a song.
You might get arrested for that one. You might actually get arrested.
Anyway, so the reason it seems like that have to be put in this, because the argument is that if you don't, then it's a human rights violation, or you're infringing on their human rights.
And that would be correct according to that, because like I always say, that now Lucifer is at the head of the world. He's now leading. So even human rights, who determines what a human right is? Right? Take children, for example. You know, technically they have no rights, you know, until they reach a certain age, because you as a parent, you act as a guardian, so you decide what's right and wrong for them. So who is doing that for the world? Because whoever is doing that for the world is the one that's deciding that, you know, if you, for example, say that, no, you know, I don't think people should be homosexual, or I don't think people should be transgenders, you know, then you're impinging on people's human rights. Who is that person deciding that? You know, what if we are all going on off the rail? You know, and those people that are saying no are the ones that are getting the world back into the right tracks. We don't know that.
It's the whole Qatar situation, isn't it? Yeah. But like, again, I don't know if maybe Uganda are being a bit draconian with it, saying, you know, they will kill people who are gay, identify as gay.
Are they saying they'll kill them, or sentences up to 10 minimum sentence. 10 years, isn't it? Yeah. Or life in prison.
Yeah. So
where did I get the death sentence?
So okay. So just for clarification, obviously the ban is on same-sex intercourse. The law bans promoting and abetting homosexuality, as well as conspiracy to engage in homosexuality. The death penalty can be invoked for cases involving aggravated homosexuality, a broad term used in the registration to describe sex acts committed without consent or under duress against children, people with mental or physical disabilities, or by a serial offender, or involving incest.
Okay. But yeah, in that context then, yes, I think that a country has the right to say we don't agree with this practice. Obviously, I think as a Christian as well, we do have to step back and make sure that we are still within God's word in the actions that we take and in the things that we say, because yes, I suppose homosexuality is such a big thing because it's always out there, but God clearly said no sin is greater than the other. So it's also that balance in our beliefs. I don't also want us Christians to end up in a situation where we now put homosexuality on a pedestal as a sin. And just because that's not what we're practicing, because at the forefront, that's not what our religion believes, we do everything else as long as it's not homosexuality, because that's the greatest sin. So I think I'm in twofold camps. I've got issues with the people that want homosexuality to be at the forefront of everything and everybody to make homosexuality, LGBTQ a part of their daily living and just accept it for what it is. And then I've also got an issue with our camp as people that believe in God, then center staging homosexuality as the pinnacle of sin. Like Pro-Nick was saying, there is a leading voice, because even in the conversations of what Uganda is doing, is it right, is it wrong? In a lot of the articles, a lot of it was, how will the West respond, especially when it comes to aid?
Yeah.
So how, if aid is truly and freely given, why does it depend on what
Your
laws
beliefs and laws of the nation.
that country have?
Yeah, well, again, their argument will always come back to the human rights thing, innit? Because their argument would be, okay, Putin is busy bombing Ukraine for no apparent reason. Are we going to continue giving Russia aid? No, of course not. We don't agree with it. We're condemning his actions. We don't agree with them. So for them, it's that same argument. How can we support a country that are doing things that we don't agree with, that we think are morally incorrect? And that's the argument they'll make. And I think, fine, let them make the argument.
Let them withdraw their aid.
Yeah,
we are sure Uganda will survive.
It is just said from us sitting here in the studio, but unfortunately, those are the devils that countries like Uganda and other African nations will have to wrestle with. And which is why, it's my wish that Africa becomes self-sufficient. I think we have enough resources to do their own things, but anyway.
We just have too much corruption.
That's politics. But I did want to ask, though, in terms of making it illegal and punishable by sentences and stuff like that. I don't know. So I think it's one thing taking a stance as a country and saying that no,
we don't agree with it.
We do not agree with it. Obviously, it's a religious country. We're saying okay, fine, and I agree about promoting and abetting homosexuality and stuff like that. But then making it illegal, that's
I
don't
the
know
point
about
I was
that.
trying
I'll
to
be honest
make.
with you. Huh?
That's the point I was trying to make, to say I don't know about the actions they're taking and behind the sentiment of a country standing up and saying we don't agree with this thing and we don't want people aiding and abetting in the
teaching and spreading.
But then when it comes to, I think because for me I would put it in the category of a moral crime is the way I can best justify it in my head. So how do you punish a moral crime where nobody is essentially injured?
No, and that's
or
the thing.
Nobody else is essentially hurt.
Yeah. So the reason I'm unsure about it is
But then the funny thing is, okay, so this is something funny that happened in my head. So Uganda now decides they're going to keep imprisoning all these gay people. And they're just going to end up with a prison full of all gay people doing gay stuff. Like, you're making their dreams come true, no?
Now gay people will want to get caught
exactly,
because that's where paradise is.
That's the best dating app for gay people in Uganda. Prison.
Now they've got the asylum cards in the United States. We met in prison in Uganda.
Gay people will be like, yeah, we're going to paradise tonight. Yeah. No, but
self-reporting themselves, sir, I am a gay. Arrest me, officer.
I heard the part is in C-Wing. Can I get transferred to C-Wing, please? No, there isn't. I mean, it's a fun. Definitely not death. I think I definitely agree about the death. Not in this context that they've said. Obviously, I think anyone, gay or not, who commits any of those crimes described, kill them. That's a capital punishment discussion.
Wow.
I don't think that. I don't think that's the yeah, I think that's out. I definitely don't agree with killing gay people just because they're gay. But the thing about making it illegal, yeah, well,
So here's what I'm thinking, right?
the thing is, I'm guessing the church and the state are intertwined in Uganda, in that the state is run by believers and it's a Christian country and stuff like that. And in that context, I get it. But I guess maybe it just depends how enforceable it is, because it could be illegal, but then they're just like, oh, you let them have their gay bar in the corner somewhere, let them go about. And then only if they bring it outwardly into the public, like if they're outwardly doing it or outwardly promoting it, that's when they get in trouble. I would agree with that approach. I don't think I'd agree with the approach of, going from door to door. Is your son gay? Is your husband gay?
No, I don't think they will do that.
No, I know. I'm just saying in terms of...
No, but they're encouraging
I'm just
family
saying
members
in terms
to report gay activity, aren't they?
If you see somebody, then which should be the case
I don't
for all
know
crimes.
about that. I don't know about that.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, right? A time had to come when gay laws had to be introduced and actually written down, right?
What do you mean gay laws?
Like marriages, for example.
Or as in allowing them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They had to be
yeah.
put in law, right? So if you are going to combat that, you want it in law as well. Okay, because I'm looking at...
No, but for them, I don't think it was ever in law. Because you're talking about the West.
It's not in law. Yeah, okay. You got to remember that the gay community don't have a country. They are a country, wherever they are, right? So it's a matter of them spreading their themselves wherever they can. So now Uganda is sitting and thinking, we don't want this gay thing to come to Uganda. And obviously they're seeing that it's already started. Yeah. So they're thinking, okay, how can we put a stop to this? You see? So I'm seeing that's the approach they have taken. And that's the approach you would have to take for anything you didn't want practiced in your country. You put it in law, you make it a crime, therefore people can't commit it. Even drugs and things like that. So for me, that's how I'm understanding. That's why they've done it that way. So in that way, to be honest with you, just like all other illegal stuff, people would be doing stuff on the low, but I guess that's the point. They don't want it to become a thing, If you want to practice your gayism, you gotta leave Uganda. Is it a human rights problem? Yes, it is, obviously, in the way that the world is shaped at the moment. Someone was saying that they are worried that it's enticing homophobic behavior and obviously discriminations. And unfortunately, yes, that because people are fully...
It's a side effect.
It's going to be a side effect, exactly. Especially those that are pro for it. Those that are like, yes, definitely, we don't know gays. You can't even speak in a funny way. Imagine you had just finished, choking on something and so you were coughing. So you want to say hello, but when your voice will be like, oh, hello, gay. No, I'm not gay. I was just joking. I don't do that. We almost had you, eh? That's what I will be saying. But yeah, it is. It's not a simple thing. It is complicated. But as a believer, I feel like more countries should go down the same route. But obviously, we know just how powerful this community is. So it's a good thing we can't get cancelled, because this would have been most likely our last episode.
Oh no, I mean it's good though. Uganda is setting a precedence, and yeah, hopefully a lot of countries follow suit in terms of making their stance known. Like I said, I don't think persecution or discrimination against LGBT is the way forward.
It's not the way forward.
And anyone who professes to take a stance against it based on Christianity shouldn't be invoking people. Those kind of things anyway. But it's a moral stance to say no. You're asking us to accept it. You're asking us to tell us that it's okay. We're saying no, it's not okay.
Exactly.
But if Bob and Jim want to live together in the next house and grow, that's fine. That's none of our business. But if you're asking us if it's okay, no, we don't agree with it. So, and I think that's the way that any country that decides to stand up against it should go down. Hopefully it doesn't go too far, because if it goes too far, then if anything, it would be like, oh, see, we told you, this just proves our point. You know, so I don't want to see any weird stories of gays being burned or assaulted or anything like that, because that would just lose the argument before it even started.
100%. It will reverse everything.
Yeah, and you know, anyone with two brain cells wouldn't advocate for anything like that. You know, so, but yes, more power to Uganda. And
Uganda.
I think it's good.
I have seen a lot of girls, but the biggest booty girls come from Uganda. With a big bumper.
Okay,
That's my favorite Ugandan song. Taught to me by Ugandans.
Yeah. When we beat them, did we win that netball game?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, of course we did. Because Uganda sucks. No, I'm kidding, Uganda. You're great. How did you two just become Ugandan for a second there? You looked at me. Are you getting paid by the Ugandan government? What the hell?